Hey, I'm Connie. Welcome back to my channel. And I know it's been a while since my last video, so I wanted to put this one out a little bit earlier, but then I said, let me wait a little bit to see if if there's anything wrong, and just to give it enough time for me to become accustomed to these items. Well, and you know that I'm a person that I try not to waste money, and all of that plays a role. But let me backtrack a little bit. My husband, for his birthday, had asked me for a pair of Skechers because he had seen on TV the ones that were the slip-ins, and they looked really nice, easy, and he has problems with his back, so it kind of gives him a little bit of a break from actually having to lean down and tie shoes, which he does anyway for pickleball. But it's nice just to have a little pair that you could just put on for a nice little stroll. And I've always been the kind of person that I like to have also a pair of walking shoes, not just sneakers, but a nice pair of supportive walking shoes. That's something I always enjoy. I love to walk. To me, walking is not just an exercise, it's also a meditation. It's also good for stress. It's also good just to be out and about, out in nature. And it keeps you active, it keeps you going. So what happened was that he had gotten this pair, and it kind of tempted me. I felt myself being in temptation with them because they were really nice looking shoes, but they also just were comfortable. Now, here's the rub. For about, I would say at least 5 or 6 years, I've avoided Skechers. And the reason being, I've also avoided another brand too, because of the fact that I had bought one of each of the brands, and I had problems with my feet. And I talked to other people, and as it turns out, there's certain shoes, the way that they're made, the way that the model is, that they can be wrong for your foot. Your foot, my foot doctor explained that to me a few years back when I was having tendonitis, and I have occasional problems with my feet. So he explained that it depends on how it's made, the way that your foot moves. Everybody's foot is not the same. Everybody doesn't have the same gait. And as an older person, I don't want to have to struggle with that, with foot pain. That's just... Nobody has time for that. As that old meme says, who has time for that? Well, so at first I liked the shoe, but I was really afraid to spend the money on them. And I said, well, what if I just get a pair? And I tried to look at other things first, but they weren't made quite the same way. And I thought, well, maybe I can find someone. I might have to donate them. They range in price. These slip-ons range in price. And some of them are like a little bit more kicked up a notch, and some of them look a little bit different. I didn't need anything that fancy. I actually wanted something that was a little bit more, I guess you would say, like, that would go with things. I just wanted to put them on and go walking. It is. Get moving. And I wanted something that would not hurt my foot after half a mile. I wanted to be good, but I was very leery about it because of the fact that I'd had problems in the past with another pair of shoes. So I got a good price on a pair, and I took a gamble, and I said, well, if not, maybe I can donate the shoes to someone, because they'll be lightly used. I don't know if they'll take them back at the store. So I happened to pick up this little pair, and they're slip-ons, okay? And these are a size 7.5, and that might have played a role. In certain shoes, like in certain clothing, it's not like universal. Like sometimes I in my A6, I'm a size 7. And when I saw these, and I tried on one of them, and I realized that the one that was the display was the mate. And I said, oh, okay, these look like they're gonna fit. Well, I'm gonna take the gamble, and I'm gonna see if they work. So I went up to the salesman and I said, could you please release that one from me? He was very nice, came over, and these were in Academy. I got them for a little over 60. And he looked at the shoe and he said, okay, let's just make sure it's the same one. He goes, okay, this is a 7.5. And I said, oh, no, it can't be. And I went to look because I'm thinking, with the other shoes. And I looked at the shoe box and I said, oh, yeah, it's 7.5. Well, they fit. Okay. So I got them. And I kind of, tried to like wear them in a little bit. Didn't bother me. Wore them in a little bit more. Didn't bother me. This went on for at least the last 3 weeks. And now, if I'm not going to be going over, like I really would be, they might actually, I think I would trust my sneakers more with the dread, like on a trail that maybe is a little bit rocky. But if you go like on a nature trail, a greenway, this is my go-to shoe now. I really love this shoe. And it's a Sketcher. Is it the model? It might be. I don't know. They're very pretty. And I'm not getting any money for this. I just got all excited about it because of the fact that I hadn't been able to, or I thought that I hadn't been able to wear this particular brand, but maybe it was just the model. The other one was also like that, but it's a little bit, it's made so that back here it's like a little bit harder, so that it doesn't flop around while you're putting your foot into it. And maybe that is like the support. And I found out that I found out that, yeah, depending on the model, Skechers can be very good. So at least for me, it worked out. And I didn't waste $64. Although I wouldn't have considered it a waste if I gave it to someone. I said, okay, in the future, I just can't wear them. But it was interesting, and now I kind of want to try that other brand too, to see if I have a little bit better luck. But I just wanted to say, it's sometimes you do need to take a little bit of a gamble, and see if it's what you want, if it's what you need. And yeah, I need a nice walking shoe. I enjoy a nice walking shoe. I like the fact that I can put them on. They're a nice looking shoe, but I don't really care that much about nice looking if it's going to kill you. And these are not like that. They were really nice. They're built pretty nice. I've had them, like I said, about 3 weeks. They are washable. Haven't even had to do. Look at the bottom. They're not used as much, but I use them when I go walking. I mean, I've been using it's been warm here, so I've also been relying on my Clarks, which to be honest, I didn't realize how good a shoe that was. And that is actually very, very good, very supportive for people with tendonitis or you always ask your doctor about that too. But I was very pleasantly surprised with these, and as I said, I've been using them now for about the last 3 weeks, and I'm very happy with them. You just slip them right on, and I've done a good 3 miles, 4 miles in these. So, and I've worn them the rest of the day, no problems. Not hot, they breathe pretty nicely and everything. So I just wanted to say that sometimes you may think that, well, I can't wear this, and follow your instincts with that too. But, and also follow what your doctor says also with that. But sometimes it's good to see it if you can get it for a little bit less and you don't have to, be married to it. I wouldn't spend $150 on something like that. These were about 64, and I said, well, I'll take that little risk. And it ended up being a good deal. But I was just very happy because I was able to get that shoe that I wanted. That was a slip-on that was easy, and it's not been harmful to my foot. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you, and I will be back with more content, but I'm happy to be able to say that I can go walking. But anyway, thanks for spending time with me, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next one.